Good afternoon. My name is Niko House, host of the political radio show Mikasa Sukasa. And today, I wanted to talk to you all about another DNC fraud suit that is taking place that is not getting the necessary attention because it is huge. It has huge, not only local implications for the state of Florida, but national implications because of who is involved. So first, I would like to urge you all to donate to our $1 campaign. It's been very successful. We are at $522. Huge. We reached our goal of $500 for the month. So we've extended that goal to $1,000. And I would love for you all to help us reach that goal by, July? So August 1st. Thank you all so much for those who have donated already. And I hope to keep bringing you the unmitigated and objective truth. So today I wanted to talk to you all really quickly about a huge DNC lawsuit in the state of Florida. I know, what a huge surprise. And you already know who's involved in it. Of course, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is, to a degree. But I'll explain why that's important in a second. But the lawsuit is against Stephen Bittle, and Stephen Bittle is the Democratic chairperson of the Democratic Party here in Florida. Now, that seems pretty normal, but as you can probably guess, there are a lot of issues with his appointment because of the things that he was involved in and, of course, how he got there. So he is a real estate mogul, right? But that really wasn't the issue. The issue was that nobody liked him. We don't know how we got there, and we don't know. There are certain rules you have to follow and a few steps that you have to follow that Stephen Bittle decided he was going to skip, or at least manipulate, so it would be much easier to get him appointed. So we come to find out that Stephanie Goodman sent out an email saying that we need to stack the DEC, which is Democratic Party or Democratic Committee of Florida. It doesn't matter what precinct they're in. Say ignore that, but we need to stack it. And we need to make sure that they vote for Bittle. Now, there are a lot of issues with that. Primarily that they're actually violating a rule by saying they don't need to worry about what precinct they're in. Because according to the Miami-Dade bylaws 3-3.3, precinct is pretty important. But we don't understand why they flooded it. Because it turns out there was actually someone filling the committee position that Bittle replaced, and he resigned after that email was sent out. So they actually did not know, supposedly, that this resignation was coming. There was no legitimate reason given for why he resigned, but we do know that he was replaced seemingly out of nowhere, and then Goodman asked for the new people that were going to be flooded in to vote for Bittle. Now, why would you do that? Probably because you wanted Bittle there for a specific reason. Now, what happens next is that Bittle, obviously, as you know, ends up getting appointed into the chair position. Now, why would he get appointed to a chair position? Why, first of all, but you already know the reason why. Well, the real question is how. The reason that he ended up having to join a committee is essentially because he couldn't become that chairperson that the Democratic Party needed him to be without being on that committee first, or a committee. So after he was implanted into the committee and then subsequently implanted the chairperson, he started doing a bunch of bizarre things. One of the main things that he did was actually flooded the DEC with members so that the party could not vote for Catherine Rundle's resignation. And for those of you who do not know who she is the woman who essentially allowed prison guards to get off scot-free after pretty much boiling a prisoner alive. And now, because they couldn't ask for her resignation, she is running for governor. And that's a different discussion for a different day, but let's just say it's not a good look, ladies and gentlemen. So once he was called out for this, of course, as usual, the Democratic Party starts to scream unity, 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 unity. And there's a few of us out there in this world who would rather have justice first. so we can make sure that the unity isn't predicated on, you know, just nonsense and lies. So there is actually a suit against Bittle for conspiracy and, you know, essentially stealing the chair seat for via quid pro quo. And they now have, I think, 10 to 15 days to respond. Because this is a recent verdict. They have 10 to 15 days to respond and acknowledge. So there is progress being made, but this is a huge case. Do you want to know why? Because of who is running for office down here. There's a lot of progressives, but mainly and namely Tim Canova, who is running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And if we use the model of the general election, or the primary election, where Debbie Wasserman Schultz was able to use the Democratic chairmanship or chairpersonship to manipulate how the elections are ran, then we know exactly what Tim Canova is about to run into down here in Florida. If we want Tim Canova to win fairly and justly, or at least have a fair and just election, Bittle can't win. He can't win this lawsuit, and we have to give it more attention because this is a huge, monstrous story that is not getting anywhere near enough attention. So I want to thank Mario Diaz for giving me the lead. We're definitely going to keep looking into this, keep providing you news about it, but this lawsuit is going to essentially determine the outcome of Tim Canova's election in 2018. And if we can start holding people accountable for quid pro quo. So we will see going forward what would happen or what will happen. But in case you're wondering, yeah, he does help fundraise for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So that's a huge conflict of interest, if you will. And with that being said, once again, I encourage you all to donate to our One Follow $1 campaign. I'll post the links below. And always remember, find your balance.